You got combos down now, you got your frame data understanding somewhat down pat, your punishments coming along slowly but surely. You know, you got some good shit happening with your main, but you're still getting thrown all over the place and getting fucked up with, by guys like King. How many people be complaining about King? I'm not going to tell you how to beat King in this video. Maybe I'll do an anti-King video later on down the road. We'll see. But, throwing. Very, very powerful mechanic in Tekken, and it's also very difficult to break throws. So, Tekken 7 technically made things a little easier to break throws back in the day when Tekken 7 first came out. Everybody was really surprised that standard throws like your 1+3 grabs or your 2+4 grabs, these are standard, basic, every character throws. Everybody has them, and they could all finally, for the first time, be broken by pressing either the 1 button when you see the throw and react in time, or the 2 button. You have a brief amount of time in which you visually identify that you've been thrown, and then you need to press the corresponding button with whichever limb that was extended that initially engaged the throw. So, in this instance, for example, if I'm going to do a 1 throw, then I'm going to grab with my left arm. You see this here? So my left arm is coming out when I'm doing a 1 throw. This is the 1+3 grab that Kazuya has. This is the 2+4 grab that Kazuya has. This is the 2 throw. Remember, 1 is the left punch button, right? And 2 is the right punch button. So, 1 throwing with the 1 side is obviously the 1 throw. And then throwing with the 2 sides, obviously the 2 throw. Now what about this shit? This is different, right? This is a throw that requires a command. These are called command throws. The majority of command throws are broken with 1+2. Every character has command throws, the vast majority, like I said, broken with 1+2, but there are tons of command throws in the game that are broken with either just 1 or just 2. So, that's the tricky part about grabs. Whenever you're getting thrown, you have to identify which hand it was that initially came out. But the funny thing about Tekken 7 and now into Tekken 8, this game allows these throws, the ones that King's gonna grab me right now, and I'm gonna break it with. This was a break with a 1. Now I'm gonna try it with a 2. I pressed 2 on that break, and I broke it just in time. So no worries. If you're thrown by just the standard grabs that every character has, I didn't break it that time because I was too slow. But if you just do the standard grabs every character has, they are broken with either 1 or 2, and there's a massive frame window for throws to be broken as well. So, throws are typically about 12 frames fast. These standard throws are about 12 frames fast, right? This command throw is about 12 frames fast. If I were to do an outstretched standard throw, which is pressing either 1+3 or 2+4, those are your standard throws. If I do that with the forward button together, I get this. See how Kazuya is kind of lunging forward a tad? Oops. Well, actually, it's better if I do. If I do it from this side, you can see it better here. So, 1 grab and then a 1 grab that's outstretched a little bit. This is the 12 frame one, and this is the 14 frame one. I'm actually adding 2 frames of movement into that input just because I'm adding the forward button. But because Kazuya is taking a step forward, this then makes the grab have slightly more range. Backing up a little bit here, we're gonna go back to the 1+2 throws real quick. We're gonna make King do a 1+2 grab, and we're gonna mash out 1. I'm mashing out 1 when I get grabbed. I'm mashing out 2 when I get grabbed. Nothing well, I don't want to hit him, but yeah, mashing out 1, nothing happens. Mashing out 2, nothing happens. But what if I hit 1+2? Well, then I break the throw. Sick. That's pretty flippin' awesome. So we know that this is a 1+2 throw because King grabbed me with both arms outstretched. You see that animation there on the left side with King? He's stretching out both arms at the same time and doing a 1+2 command throw. What happens if he does a throw that's only a 1 break? Let's go over that real quick. You see he grabbed me with his left hand there, and I press 1, and I pressed 1 just at the end of the break animation, so I really waited my ass off to break this throw here, but yeah, you actually have quite a bit of time to break this grab. So you do have forever and a day to break this specific 1 throw by King. I literally just pressed 1 as soon as the camera angle changed, and it still breaks it. So you have forever and a day to break that specific grab, which makes it extremely trash for that reason. But that can only be broken with 1. What happens if I mash 2? Because he grabbed me with his left hand, when I hit the 2 button, nothing happens. I get screwed over. And guess what? The kicker is, whenever you go to do a break for a throw, the second that you initiate a punch input of any type, it doesn't matter if it's the correct one or the wrong one, the second that you do that, if you press 2 on a 1+2 break for a split second, and then you mash 1+2, the moment right after you press 2, the throw window will immediately close the second that it notes that you pressed the wrong throw break. You can't just mash randomly 1, 2, or 1+2. You have to identify the throw, see that it's either a 1 grab, a 2 grab, or a 1+2 grab by seeing what arms the character used to grab you with, and then press the corresponding button. And it has to be the correct one, or you will not be able to break the throw at all. So, it's a very important thing to know. I think a lot of players miss this information because they often think, well, I'm mashing 1 after I press 2, I should still be able to break it because I still mashed 1 within the frame break window, which I'll explain in a second what that is. But it just isn't working. Well, that's because you hit the wrong break button at the very start. Even if it was just a reflex action. Oh, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, fuck. I still got thrown. You know, I do that shit all the time. I suck ass at throw breaks. I mean, I'm not terrible at most throw breaks, but if you're a good fucking player and you set me up for some shit and throw in some good spots, I'm not going to see the throw. I'm good at breaking throws when I expect them, which is very often, but not when a player is good and they place the throws well. Then I get right fucked up. So throws are very powerful in this game. Plus counter-hit throws exist, which adds another factor into Tekken throw breaks that has never been implemented before. It's fucking crazy what that shit does. So now we're gonna go into a little bit of details about frames of throws, right? So like I said earlier, these throws, the standard ones, are typically about 12 frames unless you add the forward button in with the input of the throw, the standard throw. Then it adds an extra 2 frames and these become 14 frame throws. So that's a 12 frame one and that's a 14 frame one. You can tell the difference very, very slightly with how Kazuya's hand is outstretched. It's a little bit more... It's just a little, it's out there for a little bit longer, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So honestly, I just recommend standing there and pressing 1+3 or 2+4. Don't add the forward because you pretty much never need it, and it adds like no distance. So if you're gonna throw like that and do the shitty standard throws that can be broken with 1 or 2, then, you know, by all means, at least fucking don't add the forward button to make things even easier for your opponent to punish. You're giving the opponent an extra 2 frames to work with to break the throw. And on that note, we're going to go into frames of throws and what the break window typically is. So I said that command throws are typically 10 frame or 12 frames. There's a couple of 10 frame throws in the game, but we'll save that for a bit later on in the video. So this is a command throw, and it's broken with 1+2, and it comes out at 12 frames. Now the break window of a throw, typically, most throws have a break window of about 19 frames. So, add it up. 12 frames plus 19, you got 31 fucking frames. If you can't break a throw, which I still can't consistently, in 31 frames of time, that's half a second and then a frame. Half a second and a 60th of a second. That's how much time you have to break a fucking throw. If you can't do that shit, you have even 2 frames longer if it's a standard outstretched throw with the forward button added. You know, if you can't do that, you're trash. So I'm trash. But it's definitely important. Fucking important to know this shit. Throws are used at every level. In low ranks, they're used to damage the opponent and get some free damage and free wins. In intermediate ranks, they're used for a little bit of added pressure most of the time. They don't know, typically, I'm in a panic mode situation, here's a flow chart, I usually add a throw at this part. So it's just added pressure knowledge checking the opponent's stuff. But at high level plays, throws aren't very often used because throws are mostly just position changes, because everybody fucking breaks throws at high level. Nowadays, there exists counter-hit throws. So the break window of a counter-hit throw is no longer 19 frames, it becomes 8 frames. You get 11 less frames of break, and you have no fucking clue how ridiculously hard that shit is. So you got 12 frames plus 8 frames. So you got, and you know what, sometimes I hear it floating around, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but some people suggest that there's a 5-frame break window in counter-hit throws, which I could honestly believe that. Counter-hit throws are ridiculously hard to break, but they definitely add a really cool element into the game because it makes throwing at all levels very viable and actually intimidating. Very powerful, too. Like, throws are back to being top-tier shit. You can punish people with throws now. You can punish rage arts with a throw. I'm pretty sure that if you punish people with a throw, they can't break it at all. Alright, so, I have the dummy set of King to do his down forward 2-1, which the second hit is a high, so you duck that hit. And then I have him mashing 1+2, fucking until the cows come home, like mashing the shit out of it. I'm just mashing that stuff. So what comes out is, hold on, this shit. So he's mashing 1+2 after the down forward 2-1, like as soon as down forward 2-1 ends. But if I can get the punish in before he's mashing down forward, or he'd technically be able to be mashing down forward 2-1, it shouldn't be a counter hit throw, it should be a punish. So, if my theory is correct about this shit, because I'm mashing it so fast, 1+2 I mean, he should be able to theoretically break the throw within that 5 to 8 frame window. Not the 19 frame window that you typically would get with a throw break, plus the animation of the throw itself. So you got like 30 frames usually to play with. Not with this, not in this case, you've got fucking the animation of the frames plus an extra 5 to 8 frames, which is 17 to 20 frames. That shit is unseeable. You cannot break that unless you are anticipating that and mashing for your dear fucking life, which I made the dummy do right now. So we'll see what the window at the bottom says, if it says punish or not, and we'll see what the dummy does, and if it breaks the throw, great. If not, then we'll know how hard that shit is to actually break, because I'm mashing the crap out of it. So let's make him do it real quick. So he broke it there. So he broke it there. He was mashing 1+2 still. He didn't break it there, and he even said punish. That's crazy. It says punish, he breaks it. He didn't break it there. It said punish. It didn't say counter hit. So that wasn't a counter hit throw. So in this game, punishment throws, and counter hit throws are significantly harder to break. So it makes so anytime you see a pro player getting thrown, or a guy that has exceptionally good fucking throw breaks getting thrown, it's probably the fact that he was counter hit throw, or they threw him and it was a punish. It could have been one of those two things. I fucking love this new mechanic. I'm a huge fan, and I can't even break throws. But I think this is so interesting. I get my ass kicked online all the fucking time because of people that throw a lot, just because I suck at breaking throws. But I still think this is a brilliant mechanic to add to Tekken. We needed something like this. Throws needed something like this. It's going to make tournament matches a lot more fun to watch. So, I digress, though. There are some circumstances where you're going to be needing to look for just setup scenarios. The animation of the throw is not going to tell you what throw it is, and I'll give you an example here. So, this throw is actually, look at that. So King's grabbing with both his outstretched arms, right? Which, as we discussed earlier, that's a 1+2 break animation. You see that animation? And I'm mashing 1+2, which I have binded to L1. Now I break it with square, though. You know why that is? Because this is a giant swing. This is the most famous throw in Tekken. If you know anything about Tekken, if you've even heard of the character King, you know the move, the giant swing. Next to the Electric Wind God Fist, I would argue that the giant swing is the most iconic move in the fucking game. And I don't think you can even argue that. King is iconic as fuck on his own, and that's his best move. So that's why they gave it this unique property. You can set this thing up and mix up the animation with a 1+2, a true 1+2 throw, right? So if King wanted to, he could do what have this one as my 1+2, right? So let's just get these bitches out as fast as I don't know, like however fast they're gonna be. These two throws are the same thing. You're gonna see more or less the same exact animation of King from whatever throw he's doing. Right? See, they look the same. Now let's see if I can break them. 1+2. 1+2. I'm just gonna mash 1+2 and see what happens. I mashed 1+2, but the animation looked the same, so I thought, fuck, maybe I should just mash 1+2. No, I thought 1+2 again. It's giant swing. That's because it's a setup. It's a true 50-50. You have to guess. That's the only thing you can do. Don't worry. King is the only character in the game that has this type of shit. You don't have to worry about this from any other character. Every other character, you can identify the throw via the hand used to thrown, or the hands used to thrown. To thrown? The hands used to thrown, and then break it via the corresponding button. King is the exception because he's fucking King. He's the king of throwing, he's a wrestler. Obviously, he needs to have some tricky shit with his throws to make his throws more effective, and I like that about King. His throws are the reason he's such an amazing character. I just wanted to add in the bit about the giant swing because I love that move, and I think that it's a very unknown thing for a lot of players. So there you go, giant swing broken with 1, not 1+2. You break the giant swing with 1, and you just have to look for the setup. Very rarely will someone just randomly walk up to you after you've been pressuring them and grab you with giant swing. Most of the time, they'll like do some cool shit into plus frames into a giant swing attempt. So look for those setups. King and good King players especially will create their own setups, but King has a lot of universal setups that people will just abuse on a regular basis for King specifically, because they give him giant swing opportunities and stuff like that. So, anyways, moving on to the last thing. How do you practice breaking throws? It's really easy, but it's tedious as fuck. And I still don't do it very often because I don't feel like spending that much time in practice mode just breaking throws when I could be labbing matchups. You know, so that's kind of my jam. Throw breaking is built around muscle memory. It's not something that you just drill into your brain like how fucking like how minus something is on block. You know, like that frame data is shit that you learn, and then it becomes always a mental engagement. It's never a muscle memory thing, unless you're talking about the punish that's corresponding with the frames. Then that's different. Then you use your muscle memory to bring that punish out. You train your muscle memory to say, hey, my brain knows that those frames are this, then the fucking punish is this, because my fingers know that shit, not my brain. So, same thing with throws in that sense. Muscle memory. You don't need to necessarily know anything consciously, you just need to visually see something, and then have done the throw break enough times that your body just naturally reacts that way every time it sees that thing happen on screen. Doesn't matter what the character is, it sees a left hand come outstretched, it's gonna make you press the 1 button. It just does that. And I've been getting a lot better. Even though I've been saying I suck at throws, I do, but compared to how I was a year or 2 years ago, I break throws like on a 60 to 70% basis now, and I used to be on a fucking 10 to 20% basis. And that's because of being able to visually identify something and just my body being able to react naturally. And I'm getting faster and faster as time goes, so if I can do it, fucking anybody can. So I'm just gonna stand here and see what the throw break is. That's a 2 break. That's a 1 break. That's a 2 break. That's a 2 break. That's a 2 break as well. Now that's a 1 break. That's a 2 break. That's a 2 break as well. I was too late there though. So anyways, you're just gonna stand here and do that all flippin' day. I'm sorry if it's tedious, and it's true, but that's the way it is. You just have to see the throw animation enough times. Start by doing just 1 breaks, then move on to just 2 breaks, then move on to 1+2 breaks. Do that for like 20 minutes a day every day for a couple of months, and you'll be a throw breaking pro in no fucking time. You just need to be able to put in the time. A lot of people don't have the time to put in, so I understand that. But if you can put in the time, you know, if you don't have a girlfriend / wife / kids / a job, then you're fucking golden. If you have all those things, then you might not ever be able to break throws. But hey, at least you're happier than everybody else. So that's good. Good for you. All right. That's all I think I have to say about throw breaks. Yeah. Subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate everybody watching these vids. I know that they're fucking, you know, a couple of people have said they helped them out, so I'm happy to hear that. So I'm going to be back with another one well, it'll be probably tomorrow. And I will see you then, or I will see you on another time. Keep rocking out and keep gaming.